again, when Benjy hit us up about this, we were talking about Clyde Frazier. And like, because Clyde is, like I just said it, because we know him as Clyde. That matters a lot to me. The
synonym, I think this is a square word. The synonymity?
Yeah, somewhat. The fact that if your government name is replaced by what your nickname is, then that matters to me. The other part that I factored into how I did my rankings and my tiers for this list is how great you were. Because there are some back of the bench guys that have really cool nicknames that are toward the bottom of my list. Cool nickname, but like, do I remember you other than a couple moments here and there, or the like curiosity of when you were in the game? Having said that, there is one player in my mind that stands above all the rest. And as hard as HBO tried to slander his name, he made sure that he was going to put an Apple TV show out there with his version of the record. And then he was going to go on Hulu and do another documentary all about the Lakers. I'm going with Magic Johnson. So greatest point guard ever. And to me, I don't know him as I say Irvin Johnson, and people don't know who that is. And it's like, it's Magic Johnson is his name. So Magic is my first pick.
So I was going to ask the question, because if I had the first pick, this would have been my first pick too. Same. Okay. I was going to ask the question, is this objectively the right? Okay. Just making sure we're on the same page. I actually think if you go by, and I have the same qualification system as Andrew just explained, which is like, it's not all about greatness, but like, if you're less great, the better your nickname has to be. And I'll be curious if any like non-greats get picked today. Anyway, I think if you combine the synonymity, I'll throw that word out there again, with greatness, after Babe Ruth in all of professional sports history, I think Magic is right after Babe. And then I think there might be even a drop off after that.
I think so too. That would be, that's a great example too. Babe.
Because nobody knows, a lot of people probably don't even know who George Herman Ruth is, just like Irvin Johnson.
Mm-hmm. I agree with everything that you said. And it sounds like we have some of the very similar parameters. So this could be interesting. I think the one last part of the Magic nickname, and this is important to me in terms of nicknames, it describes the player.
Oh yeah.
Like, he's Magic. That's what he was. Like, the way he played, the charisma, you just had to, he was a Magic to watch, right? So it's like perfect the way it encapsulates him, which is one of the reasons probably that it stuck. But I think that's the indisputable first pick.
To that point, it's me, so I'm going to use baseball analogies. The reason why Rocket was perfect for Roger Clemens is because he dominated people with his power stuff. Yeah. The reason the big unit, Randy Johnson's nickname, was so perfect was because people thought his slider was from a different planet, and this was something out of this world. So yeah, I agree that we do have similar parameters going into this draft. John, you are up with the second pick.
Oh
wow.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm just going with Clyde.
I knew it. He's not letting Clyde pass again.
No, because it's not making it back to me. I mean, actually, I don't know.
I didn't think you would get past Benjy, because it's literally the same order or similar order to last time, where Benjy gets back-to-back picks.
I think in terms of the nickname replace the name, I don't think that there are a couple other Hall of Fame top 75 level players who, the nickname replace the name 1, 2, maybe. But is Clyde Frazier as great a player as Magic Johnson? Like, no, he's not. But in terms of his meaning to a city, and the fact that the nickname was completely organic and was organic on a few fronts, and it connected this, like, the era with what made Clyde, which is how cool he was and how he played basketball, and also how he obviously looked and lived off the court. And you get this like triangulation, and then obviously like literally it's Clyde after Clyde Barrow, Bonnie and Clyde, and then the wide brim hats. It all just ties together. It's so perfect. And he's Clyde. I mean, that's who he is. It's Clyde Frazier.
Yeah.
So I think, that's my number. That's my first pick.
Okay. Benji, you're up.
All right. We're on the Hall of Fame track here.
I think I know who your two picks are.
Dr. J.
That's one. Yeah.
Okay.
Those are the first two names I wrote down, Magic and Dr. J.
So it's interesting. Dr. J, as opposed, I guess kind of similar to Clyde, there's not really like a Magic is so great because there's a basketball connotation to it. Like he was Magic on the basketball court. Clyde doesn't really do that. It's more about his off-court persona than it is about his on-court persona, which is why I think it's a step down. And I think Dr. J is sort of in between. Apparently, look this up. The origin of Dr. J goes back to like a friend who used to call him professor, and then they called him doctor. Like not really anything to do with his basketball game. But I will say that there was a sophistication to Julius Erving, the person, that made him like the role model of the time to players, and I would say people alike. It's almost like they're saying he's got a PhD, this guy. Like he is such a refined, both off the court and on the court, like a refined person. And like the fact that he was maybe the greatest dunker of all time, it almost doesn't jive with the name Dr. J. Cause like, but it's like, this guy just had like a PhD in life, man. Like he was the freaking man. And Dr. J like just encapsulates that perfectly. And it's why everybody refers to him as Dr. J. Whoever says Julius Erving, nobody.
No, it's Dr. J.
He's Dr. J. And just for that reason, it's one of the best nicknames of all time. Plus the fact that the J goes with jumper, and I don't know, it all just kind of works. So, that's definitely the pick for me. You're telling me I get another pick? You
get another pick. Yeah. And this is, I would have bet everything that one of the picks was going to be Dr. J. I'm curious where you go. I think I know where you're going to go, but I don't know.
I'm between two.
Oh, I bet you I know the two that you're between two.
And I'm actually going to go to a current basketball player. And I will say something about current nicknames. We have lost the plot. One of the big shames of modern basketball is that I think it's probably because of like shoe branding initials. We cannot get any more creative than initials. It is downright pathetic what we have become.
Oh,
it's like the same as like the uniform trend where we're just basically becoming like, it's like minimalist garbage, like the Jazz uniforms, the Nets. It's just, there's no style. There's no pizzazz anymore. Maybe it's the fact, I don't know, like Shaq created some nicknames. Marv Albert created some of the nicknames, but we've lost the plot. We can't do better than AD and KD and BI. It's like, come on. What has happened to us? With one exception.